Hey Meg, there are no books on the bottom shelf behind you. What happened to them? Maybe I read them. Stop judging me. Maybe I've had a lot of free time. God, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to go back to January and count how many weeks there have been in the year because I lost count. Because the last video I uploaded was going over weeks 17 through 18. So I guess this video was talking about week 23. But technically weeks 19 through 23 because stuff happened. Yep. I am 37.2% of the way to my 2019 goal, and that's a lot of wind. Excuse me. I am also 42. Sorry. Lies. I am 43% of the way to my June writing goal, and it's only June 10th. Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm getting ahead. No, lies. Again, I'm doing a lot of lying today. I am catching up. That's what's happening. This is very important to me. I do not like being behind. This is crunch time, even though it's only June and not December. I'm working on my procrastination problem. There's been a lot of drama happening in my life, but also a lot of writing because of that drama kind of just being about writing, but also being over now. So the good news is I'm writing a lot, and I'm happy about that. And I'm happy about the things that I've been writing, and this wind is seriously so annoying. Of course, there have been moments where I'm in the middle of writing something and I'm like, is this even good? Is this even worth it? Should I even keep going? Because a lot of the writing that I'm doing is for myself, which I think at least some of your writing should be, ideally. Here's the thing, if you're having fun writing something and you're just doing it on your own and it doesn't matter, then it does matter, actually, because it can be whatever you want it to be. I've talked way too much the past couple months about practice, but back to that again. As long as you're enjoying it and you feel like it's worth your time just because you're writing and you're having fun, who cares if it's good? Who cares if it's gonna be something you can publish later? Just write stuff. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's okay to just write, whether it's good or not. Some people will and have argued this point with me. And that's totally fine. You don't have to be on board with my opinions. But be nice to me, please. There's a time and a place to write well. And you should be doing that with a clear head and with complete focus on what you're doing. And you should be able to do it well and quickly and maybe without too many revisions. There's a time and a place for that. But when you're doing something like what I'm doing, which is just writing as much as I can and seeing what I can learn from that, it's a very specific challenge that I've given myself. And maybe you're following along with me on a much smaller scale because honestly, I'm already not going to recommend writing 1,000,000 words in 1 year because, God, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. You know, I'm humbled by this experience, and it's only June because I thought I would be totally fine and that I would be able to handle this because I've been writing for so long and I know what's up. No, this is hard. This is I'm tired. I'm taking a week-long vacation in a couple weeks because I'm just so gosh darn tired. Not a vacation from writing though, which, can you even call it a vacation? We're not going to talk about that right now. I will talk a lot about that when I have free time. On my vacation. Another thing I wanted to address, just because I feel like it, and it's something I've been thinking about for reasons. I talk a lot on my blog and on these videos about, pushing through the pain, quote, unquote, pain, and following your goals and your dreams, and not quitting when you feel like you want to quit writing. So let's talk about that. When I talk about you shouldn't quit and you shouldn't let things get you down and you should just keep writing and keep going after the things that you want, I'm being encouraging, or at least I'm trying to be. I'm trying to inspire writers who might be struggling to get out there and do the thing and not be as afraid and just go after the things that they've always dreamed of. And if someone wants to publish a book and they feel like they want to quit because they're not getting the results they want, or they're getting bad reviews, or they're not even getting responses from agents, or whatever they might be struggling with, I want to be a person who can come in and be there and say, hey, don't quit. You just keep trying. You're going to be okay. Because there are a lot of people who quit because they're discouraged or they're just not having a good time. And I think I can be that voice that some people need to hear in times of struggle. Some people need to hear that it's going to be okay and that they can keep going and that they don't need to just quit. However, there are people who decide that they don't want to write anymore and they would essentially like to quit, but here's the problem that I have with this. There are people who quit writing, quote unquote quit, because they just want to be done writing and they don't enjoy it anymore and they'd rather do something else. To be clear, that is totally fine. That is totally your choice. You don't write anymore. Like, you don't have to write. If it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. If you don't like to write anymore and it's just stressing you out too much and it's not what you want to do and you'd rather go do something else with your life, I have never said ever that you are not allowed to do that. So like, if you just hate writing and you're like, I don't want to do it anymore, like, okay. My advice is no longer useful to you, and go do what you will do, and hopefully you will find something that does bring you joy. And I'm being serious about that. If writing is not something you want to do and you need to go find something else that gives meaning to your life, by all means, go do that. What's most important in this life is that you are happy and that you are doing the best that you can to make the world and people around you happy. And I'm not phrasing that exactly in the way that I would like to because it's early and coffee lack thereof, but hopefully you get what I mean. Like, go out there and do what you need to do and take care of yourself. If writing is not part of that journey, then that's fine. I don't really call that quitting though, because when I think of quitting, I really honestly take it to the extreme and I think of like rage quitting, like when you're playing a game and you're not doing well, you're losing, so you just like quit because you're like, I hate this, I hate losing, I don't want to do it anymore. That's kind of what I think of when I think of quitting in terms of writing. I think of people who keep getting rejected and this is still a dream that they have. Writing is something they still like doing and they don't want to stop, but they give up because they're just too discouraged and they don't want to try anymore. That's kind of what I mean when I say, like, don't quit. I should probably say instead don't give up, because I think there's a difference between giving up and quitting. Again, I'm not going to phrase this well because, being honest here, I'm not the best speaker. That's why I'm making these videos, because I'm trying to help you, but I am also trying to help myself by practicing how to talk better. Like, I can speak, but sometimes the sentences just are all over the place and I don't word things right, and sometimes I get in trouble for that because I don't say things the way that I think of a sentence and the way that it comes out of my mouth is not always right, and sometimes I forget to edit that stuff out. Whoops, my bad. I should say don't give up instead of don't quit. And if that has caused any confusion, I apologize. You shouldn't give up. You shouldn't just say, I don't want to do this anymore because it's hard. That's what I mean. If you want to quit, meaning that it's not that you're giving up on writing, it's just you don't want to do it anymore and you're doing fine, but you're like, I'm good. Yeah, sure. So that was a lot of stumbling through what I wanted to say, but there you go. That's it. Speaking of all that, guess what I'm not doing? Quitting or giving up. I've thought about it a few times so far this year. And don't worry, I'll be doing a big, like, halfway through update. I've been doing all these monthly reflections, and I think they've been going well, but, like, I do want to kind of compile together some of the most important things that I've learned so far, because we're almost, oh my god, we're almost 6 months in, and I am not halfway through. I am not halfway done. I'm not even close. I'm over 100,000 words behind. Oh god, I haven't actually said that out loud, and now I'm kind of freaking out. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to worry about it right now. All right? We're good. Breathe. Count to 10. Yeah, guess what, guys? Writing is not the hard part. Writing, being a writer, is the hard part. Again, this is just my opinion, based off of my experiences. Feel like I gotta say that today. I'm sorry. There are people who struggle with sitting down and getting things written. I get that. I'm not talking to you right this second, if that's you. Love you. Just hold on a minute. What I struggle with the most, personally, is not coming up with ideas or getting something written. Like, I don't sit in front of a blank page very often and just struggle. Usually by the time I sit down to write, because I plan out when I'm going to write, I have a pretty good idea in my head of what I'm going to work on. And that's just how I've come to do it. And that's kind of how my brain works. And so when I sit down, I just start writing. And that's how I do it. But getting to the sitting down place, there's a lot going on. Everything's fine. But not living alone. Working on that. Living with a very demanding, adorable puppy. She's getting better. Around the age of 2, huskies usually kind of start to act like real dogs and not just whatever crazy wolf creatures that they really are. So we're getting closer, and her training is going well and all that, but there are still interruptions, and there are still things that go on that make it very difficult sometimes to sit down and get the work done. So I am learning to do that, and I'm so excited. I haven't told you guys this yet. I'm just gonna, should I say anything? I'll just say that I am, I am keeping track of the most important things that I'm learning throughout this experience, and by the end of the year, I will be able to share whatever that product may be with you, and I'm really excited. Seeing it all laid out in front of me and being able to reflect on what I'm learning and being able to turn that into advice for you has honestly been like the highlight of my year creatively this year. I did this because I just wanted to see if I could, and then very quickly realized that, like, I've had so much to learn, and I've kind of been flatlining in terms of, like, my own creative progress for longer than I realized, and this has kind of, like, essentially woken me up. And I know it doesn't come across this way in a lot of my videos, because I do these on Monday mornings because it's honestly the only time I can. And I do it very early, and I'm not very awake, and I need to have more energy, and I'm trying, and you're great. And I think I told you I loved you earlier in this video at some point, and I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. But maybe I do. I don't know. You're pretty cool. You're watching this video, so I automatically just favor you a little bit more. I'm so happy, and I'm having so much fun, and I'm growing, and I feel like, I feel less like I don't know what I'm talking about, because what I've struggled with a lot in the past couple years in having my blog and, like, trying to give people writing advice is, like, what's my credibility? Like, what do I really know about this? And, you know, degrees aside and experiences aside, like, what makes me a person that people want to listen to? Well, I've realized in the past couple months, even, that what makes people want to read and maybe even try to apply some of my advice is that I'm a writer just like you guys. I am trying to be a writer. I'm trying to get my work out there and get published and talk about the things about being a writer that are hard. And these are things people can relate to. And if I can be encouraging and if I can motivate you or inspire you as I'm telling you about how things are going in my life, that's my only goal. That's all I want. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have just been so supportive over the past, God, not many of you have been around for the full 10 years that I've been doing my blog. It's been over 10 years now, but thank you for just sticking around for so long and for being patient with me as I've figured out what I want this blog to be and what I want my writing advice to be. And I still struggle sometimes. I have just as many doubts and roadblocks as any other writer does. I've never tried to be that person who thinks that they're better than everyone else because they have a blog or they, I don't know, are something different. What makes me unique, I hope, is that I just am as raw and honest and real as I possibly can be. And I never want to be mean or judgmental in the advice that I give, but I don't want to just sit here and tell people what they want to hear. I'm here to tell people what they need to hear and kind of, give you a little kick if you need it and kind of tell you that, like, yes, you're making excuses, but everyone does that and you can overcome that. For those who have recently visited my blog and have read one post and don't like what it says and have felt the need to tell me so not very nicely, I'm sorry. My advice is not for everyone, and you don't have to stick around. I'm sorry to see you go, and I'm sorry that you couldn't take the time to check out what my blog was really all about, and maybe one post just didn't sit well with you, and you know what, that's going to happen. This is the internet. I'm sure there are dozens of blogs that are just like mine, or not. I really don't know. All I'm doing is the best I know how to do. And I'm proud of the work that I'm doing, and I hope you're proud of the work that you're doing too. And I hope that if you're struggling with anything, writing-wise, that you feel comfortable reaching out to me. I don't know you. I am a complete stranger to you, and you're seeing my face right now, or hearing my voice right now, but, when you're just reading my blog, it's sometimes hard to remember that I'm a person. But you can reach out to me and ask me questions, and I may not always have the best answers to everything. I may always not know things. Or I may give you advice and you're like, that doesn't work for me. But I can try to help. And I'm not doing one-on-one coaching right now. I would love to get into doing that at some point. I just can't right now because I have a lot that I'm working on and a lot in the works. Those are the same thing. I need some coffee. But yeah, always feel free to reach out to me. Even if it's just to say like, hey, I didn't feel like writing today, but I saw your post and maybe I'll try tomorrow. Like, I'm not here to like judge you or tell you you're doing things wrong. I'm here to help. And I can't help if you don't let me know what's going on. So feel free to ask me anything. I'm here. I'm terrible at answering comments, especially YouTube comments. Thank you for those of you who have left comments. I have seen them. I have read them. And I know you're there. So keep asking me the same questions if I don't answer them, and I will get to them. And that's my goal for the second half of the year, is to be more responsive and to be more helpful. So let me know what's going on. I can help you, or I could try, or I could try and totally fail, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, I want this channel and all of my channels to be a place that you can come to when you need help. So let me know what's going on, and we can talk about it. All right. week 23 is about over. About to head into week 24, going strong. I don't know if I'll be able to get to 500,000 words by July 1st, but I'm gonna try. Bye bye.